If you want to know how to have the best start possible in order for you to build Cavalry main account, because in Call of Dragons, if you are making a mistake, your progression is stuck for a couple of months, and I believe nobody wants that to happen to their account, right? We have a lot of Cavalry mains in Call of Dragons, and in this video I'm gonna show you all the first big and important decisions and tips which is important for you to build a proper cavalry main account, right? We already did regarding mages and archers, and of course it's time to have a perfect start guide for the cavalry mains, right? And let's not waste too much time and let's get to the start, and let's speak about one of the most important decisions which you have to make at first when you are creating your new account, right? First of all, let me tell you one secret about cavalry mains. We have two types of cavalry mains. So first one is forest eagles with the flying units. Basically they are higher march speed but lower damage. It's best when the opponent is isolated, alone, but unfortunately, if you are running with the Spring Wardens, you have your cavalry troop as a ranged unit, as a marksman, kind of, and that's the most tricky part when you are playing as a Spring Wardens, right? But League of Order and Wilderburg have land cavalry troops, so your first decision, which will have to be important, because either you are going for the flying cavalry or you are going for the normal land cavalry. If you are going for the flying cavalry, you are for sure going for the Spring Wardens. But if you are going for the land cavalry with the land warpets and land troops, you are either going for a League of Order and Knights, and either you are going for the Wolf Riders and Wilderburg, right? Of course, I want to speak about starting heroes for beginners. So if you are going to be cavalry main, you should not be really looking at the starting heroes as your decision maker, right? Because none of the starting heroes are cavalry heroes. So basically, we don't care about Gwenwyn, we don't care about Walder, and we don't care about Bahar. But as I mentioned, land cavalry or flying, right? If I was me and I was starting over the new account and I wanted to be the cavalry main player, my decision would be to go for the Wilderburg and to play with the Wolf Riders, right? Wolf Riders will have a high physical attack and plus Wilderburg's faction bonus, which is increasing 3% of Legion physical attack, will be really valuable for our cavalry units, right? So first decision was to be land cavalry or flying. Maybe you choose like me, you want to be land cavalry. And second decision is to choose which land cavalry faction you're gonna go, right? We have two choices, League of Order or Wilderburg. Make your choice. I'm going for the Wilderburg, right? So we already did our two most important decisions for the start of the new account for the cavalry mains, right? So let's move to the inside the game and let's speak about important aspects, what makes you as a cavalry player, right? But until you're gonna decide that, we have to speak regarding cavalry mains as a free-to-play friendly or pay-to-pay friendly troop type, right? What it means to be cavalry main, what kind of advantages will you have as a pay-to-play player, and what kind of disadvantages you are going to have as a free-to-play player. So, my opinion is really simple, right? If you are 100% free-to-play player, playing as a melee units will be costly, right? Because in order for you to get damage and get merits during the fights, you have to be melee range, which means you will get targeted, you will have a lot of troops in your hospital, and the healing of your troops will be costly for you, right? That's the biggest disadvantage for a free-to-play players to play infantry or cavalry mains, right? But at the same time, if you think that resources won't gonna be problem for you in order for you to fight, because without a lot of resources, being cavalry and infantry main will be, how to say it, it will be hard, then it will be you will get a lot of rage, right? Because every single time you're gonna go out, maybe you have 1 million cavalry unit, twice you're gonna go out with your cavalry marches, you're gonna engage to fight, and you have full hospital. Something like that basically don't happen with the ranged troops because you are fighting from the range. Of course, if you get targeted by as a ranged player, it happens same, but a melee play style is totally different, right? That's the free-to-play idea and free-to-play problem which in general cavalry and infantry main players have, and that's the problem which I'm always telling to new players to understand, that you will have to engage, you will get targeted, you will have to be melee in order for you to deal damage. That's for the free-to-play players, right? For pay-to-play players, I believe being infantry and cavalry main is one of the most important things, right? You're gonna have unlimited amount of resources, you will have high skills on your cavalry heroes, on your war pets, which gonna give you a lot of damage as a cavalry war pets, but as an infantry, a lot of defensive stats. I believe cavalry and infantry main goes most of the time to pay-to-play players, right? Because simple answer, pay-to-play players have basically unlimited amount of resources, 1 to 3 billion wood, gold, and mana, right? So that's another decision you have to make. Are you a free-to-play player? Are you a pay-to-play player? And I hope my thoughts and ideas will help you to make that decision, right? So now I hope you made all the correct decisions which I gave you. And now I'm gonna tell you when you start the game what's the most important, right? For buildings and constructions, it's really important for you to make your city town hall to level 10 at first, right? Because if you don't have your city town hall to level 10, you won't gonna be able to even build the cavalry army recruitment building. It only unlocks when your town hall is 10 level. But it doesn't really mean you should stop on 10 level. Your priority should be 21 level to make a metropolis in order for you to use 5 legions at the same time. Until then, you're gonna have 4, then like before 3, 2, and at the start of the game you will have only 1 march which you are going to use, right? So basically, metropolis is your biggest target, but small target in terms of construction is of course town hall. Make a town, because on level 10 that's the time when you are actually getting the cavalry units army recruitment building. That's basically the important part, right? Of course, never forget to make your builder to build 2 buildings at the same time. That should be somewhere here. Yeah. Here you will be able to unlock second builder for 5k gems at the start of the game, and of course it's really important, right? This should be one of your priorities to unlock. Save your gems from the quests, from the events, and try to unlock second builder as fast as possible, because it will help you to build your city town hall to 21 level faster, right? Because when levels increase for your constructions, the consuming time also increases, and also resources and everything. So when you are building 2 buildings at the same time, of course, everything happens faster and faster. So make it your priority. Also, at some point, you will unlock VIP building. And whenever you're gonna unlock VIP building, one of your priorities should be to get to level 8 in order for you to unlock second research queue permanently, which means you will be able to basically complete 2 researches at the same time. And for the start of the game, that's the fastest way to progress from the research tab. Also, you're gonna get 10% research speed and 1 legendary hero token for you to already start thinking about the heroes which you are going to be working as a cavalry main, right? How to make level 8 faster? Go to the best possible alliance where people are spending funds in the game, and from the chests there is a high chance that you're gonna get some free VIP points, and if not, then daily VIP points will be your choice on how to get to level 8 as fast as possible, right? So basically, we finally unlocked second research queue and second builder. Since we started speaking about research queues and researchers, I'm gonna give you some tips for the start of the game, right? Of course, for the start of the game, your one of the biggest priorities should be to get to tier 4 as fast as possible. That's like a minimum in order for you to start enjoying the game, right? You being tier 3, tier 2, and tier 1, that's not the game. Game actually starts when you unlock tier 4 units, right? So make it your priority. But it doesn't really mean that you should forget about economy technology, because from here you are getting a lot of important buffs. Scholarship 1, research speed, architecture 2, 35% build speed, gathering speed here, and of course scholarship 2, research speed 50%. If you at some point get to scholarship 2 and max this level to 10 level, stop spending resources and time on continuing progression on economic technology, go into the military technology and basically try to finish it up as much as you can, right? Because on the mid game and late game, it matters if you have first tide max level, assault strategist max level, because these 6 researchers are the highest time consuming researchers which are in the game. So as a cavalry player or infantry archer mage, these 6 researchers will be one of the most crucial ones for your gameplay. And of course, I hope slowly or faster you're gonna go and unlock Wolf Riders, which will be your first tier 5 units, and hopefully it will happen soon. So basically, we spoke about constructions and researches and some first important tips which you have to understand when you are starting the game, right? Finally, it's time for us to speak about heroes in Call of Dragons. When you start the game, you have some bunch of heroes which you can actually unlock, and there is a happy times for cavalry players, right? Because as a free-to-play players or pay-to-play players from the gold chest, you are getting one of the best hero pairs in the game till this day for cavalry players, right? That's of course Emeris and the Bakshi, right? Other than that, like Thea, Garwood, Nika, Welin, those are the heroes which you actually don't care, right? Your only and most important motivation should be to focus on Emeris. That should be your priority, right? For the start of the game, if you're gonna put all of your legendary tokens on Emeris, and if you're gonna awaken Emeris as fast as possible, which won't gonna be hard, because you're gonna get tokens from the gold chest, you're gonna get tokens, one token per day when from the level 8 VIP, also from the events. Basically, if you're gonna put all of the legendary tokens which you generated and put on Emeris, you will be happy throughout the whole Call of Dragons gameplay, right? Because Emeris is a PvP hero, Emeris is viable till this day, and basically this will be your number 1 hero. Bakshi has one weakness, second skill, which is not PvP skill, but other than that, if you're gonna have Emeris already awakened, your second choice should be to awaken Bakshi, right? Because Bakshi gonna deal a lot of damage. That's what Bakshi do. Also, if you want to know the progression of your heroes, which heroes will be important for you as a cavalry player, Urag will be your number 1 damage dealing hero in the future, so take the note, save legendary tokens in the future, so whenever Urag will be available for your season, try to acquire Urag from the lucky spins and try to awaken Urag, because Urag will be in every single cavalry hero pair which is in the game currently, right? So hope it works for you, right? Of course, Urag and Tobin comes out together. So if you have already awakened Emeris and Bakshi, if you're gonna wait for Urag and Tobin, basically you're gonna have one of the best hero pairs and heroes for cavalry players, which are the most important. And I think that's enough, right? That's enough for the heroes. You know the best one for the start, you know the priority second, and you know what comes in the future, which will be good one, right? When you are speaking regarding cavalry heroes and cavalry gameplay, you should always understand that artifacts matter for cavalry heroes, maybe most, right? So, of course, I'm gonna speak from the normal draws, which cavalry artifacts you should be happy when you get it. And from the normal draws, there are a lot of cavalry artifacts which are really, really important. So for the offensive ones, Kingslayer and Sorlan's Blade will be the happy times when you're gonna unlock these artifacts. Especially Kingslayer. Kingslayer has more damage. Sorlan's Blade has less damage but more march speed. This is the two artifacts which are basically most offensive from here, right? Other than that, the utility artifacts which will be useful, Storm Arrows, Springbit Feather, Fang of Ashkari even, and what else, right? The Wolf Woman of Halor. These are the artifacts which, if you're gonna unlock these artifacts which I just mentioned, you should be really happy, right? I know some of them are march speed artifacts and you won't gonna see like big numbers when you're gonna use it, but don't forget, March speed is one of the best stats for cavalry players, so if you are getting March speed increases from your artifacts, that's the attribute and that's the skills which you want to have for your cavalry heroes, right? So, Sorlan's Blade, Kingslayer, Fang of Ashkari, Storm Arrows, Springbit Feather, Mana Stone Hunter, Wolf Woman of Halor. These are the artifacts. When you actually unlock them, you should be super happy. Of course, there are some important exclusive artifacts, especially for the emeries, and that's of course Spring Blades, right? If you're gonna somehow save up forged keys and you're gonna get Spring Blades from the Forge of Light or some artifact events, you should be crazy happy regarding this artifact because it is going to get you a lot of merits. And that's the exclusive artifact for your Awakened Emeries, which will be the perfect fit, right? And yeah, that's enough for the artifacts, and we can go and check what's going on in terms of warpaths, because as I have mentioned many times, warpaths are like third heroes, right? So, as always, if you are just starting the game, which warpath you should be working on if you want to be cavalry main forever in your account, right? And of course, we have multiple choices, so like we have Berserker Fadrake, we have Golden Rock, then new and new warpaths comes out, but let's speak about the most important one, right? Golden Rock with your Emeries, with Kingslayer or Spring Blades, no matter which artifact basically. Golden Rock will be your primary warpath. My advice would be to focus on Golden Rock until you're gonna make Exuberance 3-star. That's basically minimum nowadays how to make your warpath strong. So this warpath is number one choice for Emeries hero pairs, since you already invested the legendary tokens on Emeries. I honestly believe that this warpath will be the perfect fit for your Emeries and Bakshi gameplay, and if you somehow manage to have Emeries Awakened, Bakshi, Kingslayer or Spring Wardens and Golden Rock together in one lineup, that one hero pair is going to get you a huge amount of merits in Call of Dragons, right? So hopefully this will be your perfect choice. I believe Fierce Attack, Tooth of the Claw, Blood Roar, even Angry Roar, like intense Fierce Attack maybe, should be the way how to build Golden Rock, and this warpath will be not only useful for Emeries and Bakshi, it will be useful for basically every single cavalry hero pair which you are going to make in this game. So you are basically building the warpath which will be useful for everything in the future or even right now. That's why I won't gonna even speak about Berserker Fadrake. That's a different style of gameplay. It works on control type of heroes, and Golden Rock, why it's number one choice, its versatility, its damage, and basically that's two main points why I think that Golden Rock is better choice than anything else. So basically, you already know the most important features which you have to put your attention, or maybe even money, or maybe your time, depending which kind of player you will be. And yeah, as I said, the cavalry remains, you're gonna get a lot of merits, you will need a lot of resources in order to heal those troops, but if at some point, if you want to be cavalry main, you will have fun in every stages of the game. Maybe most likely during the beginning you will have some weak points, but mid-game and late-game, they actually rock, right? No matter which type of game mode, like Roots of War, Proving Grounds, war gameplay around the battlefield, they are the fastest troop type, they are the highest mobility troop type, and they can deal huge amount of damage, especially if they are targeting archers or even mages, right? So, of course, not easy playstyle, they're really expensive, but a lot of fun if you actually like to play with this troop type, right? I hope this guide was interesting. I tried my best to give you all the important information which I had from all the cavalry mains in the game, and hopefully we're gonna have more cavalry mains and infantry and archer and basically everybody, right? Because why not? More people are gonna play this game, it will be better for everybody. As always, if you like the video, press like, subscribe, share. It always gives me more and more motivation to make more content for this game. I wish everybody an amazing day, morning and night. We are going to see each other really soon. Bye bye and good luck.